morning, everybody. My name is Karla, and you've reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about cross-stitch and crochet and some machine knitting and a little bit of life thrown in. So today is Sunday, November 30th. It's FlossTube number 307. It is Thanksgiving weekend, the last day of a 4-day weekend here for me in the US. And I want to say welcome. If this is your first time finding my channel, I hope that you like what you see. Want to hit like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. I'm moving this down just a little bit. I'm like, you don't need to see all of that window up there. So welcome. And if this is not your first time finding my channel, if you are one of my regular viewers, thank you so much for coming back and sharing this time with me. So for those of you who celebrate, I hope that you had a really good Thanksgiving. Mine was really good, as expected as far as crafting. My creative juices were taking it more with like the cooking and stuff, preparing for Thanksgiving this week, and I didn't do a lot of crafting, but I do have a couple things to show you. Weird thing that did happen to me on Thanksgiving, which I am mentioning because I'm dealing with it right now. I woke up on Thanksgiving morning and kind of felt on this side of my head like almost like I was underwater and cotton, like my ear was plugged up, and haven't felt sick, haven't had a temperature, nothing like that. I looked it up and it said it could be allergies, so I did get some Flonase, which I started taking yesterday. But my ear is still, this side is still kind of plugged up. And it's kind of on stages. I feel like it's not as bad. I feel like I am having a little bit of like hearing loss, you know, or like, you know, if I block this ear, I'm watching TV, I block this ear, there's no difference. I block this ear and the volume goes down. But the thing that's like a little bit annoying right now is when I'm talking, I'm hearing like almost like feedback in my ear. It's almost like when you have a cold and your nose is like plugged up high and you kind of like whistle as you breathe. It's that kind of thing, but it's like when I'm talking, I'm hearing a feedback in my ear, and it's kind of annoying. And it's not like that all the time. In fact, I think it just stopped when I was like pressing up. I don't know. It's very weird. As I said, I don't feel sick. If it doesn't go away in the next week, I think I'm gonna have to go to the doctor. I don't know. I guess it could just be allergies. I hope it's not like all of a sudden I have some kind of infection in my ear. There's no pain. I used to get ear infections when I was a little kid, and that was pain. So I have nothing like that. It's just kind of like my hearing was blocked and my ear feels a little bit like, you know, like when you get water in your ear, or yeah, it's kind of annoying. So as I said, if it doesn't right itself, sorry, stuff's falling everywhere here. If it doesn't right itself within the next week after taking, you know, other allergy medications other than my normal Zyrtec, I did get the Flonase, which is supposed to help clear your eustachian tube. So if it doesn't right itself, I guess I'm gonna have to go to the doctor, which I hate. But anyway, as I said, Thanksgiving was really nice. We just had, Lorraine and I decided to cook Thanksgiving. We invited her daughter and son-in-law. So her daughter was just like so thrilled because it's like, she's usually the one who hosts, and she, you know, so hosting is a lot of work. We really took it easy on the meal and the hosting. Because there were two of us, we decided to split up the responsibilities. So she was like in charge of most of the sides and stuff. So I didn't even pay attention. I didn't even know what she was gonna make, really. You know, she told me a little bit, but I was in charge of the turkey and the dressing, and I made some appetizers, and it really was very nice. I mean, it's still a lot of work. It, you know, regardless of how much you plan ahead and how much you do ahead, it's still a lot of work on the day. We was a beautiful day here in Southern California. We actually ate outside. We set up a table out on the lawn in front and ate out there. We just kind of did a buffet, and we each, carried our plates out. Only problem was after sitting out there for an hour or so, all of a sudden I'm like, my feet are getting bitten by something. So I ended up with some bug bites on my feet after a while. But it was a really nice meal. We ate early. Lorraine is like an early Thanksgiving person. So we had dinner or lunch or whatever you want to call it, around 2:30, and we ate, we socialized, and they went home around 6:30. So we were, we were alone by the evening, really tired. And then we've just been eating on the turkey all weekend. So it was really nice. Oh, and her daughter did the dishes. Like, we were sitting there and her daughter's like, stay here. And she went in and she put all the food away, and did all the dishes for us. So, I mean, it was really nice. And she was just thrilled because she didn't have to cook. Yeah, so it was really nice. And I did tell them that, like, maybe if we want to do something over the holidays, I'll make my traditional, like for Hanukkah, I make like sweet and sour cabbage soup or cabbage rolls. But the soup is actually a lot easier, so probably that would be what I would do. Maybe latkes, but there's so much work. And they're just a lot of work to make. But we'll see. I might want to share that with them anyway. But it was a lot of fun. And I've enjoyed having this 4-day weekend, except for my stupid ear. And I'm going to enjoy today doing not much of anything, other than a little crafting and TV watching and stuff. And then we're into the holiday season at work. It's going to be busy. And things get back to normal. So as I said, I don't have a lot of crafting to show you this week. This is probably going to be a short video. But I do have the couple of crochet projects that I worked on, and then I do have something new to show you that I started, that gift that for Lorraine. So honestly, I don't know if I worked on this week. I don't know if it's bigger than it was last time I showed you. This is the poncho that I'm making. This is from a pattern, Pretty Peaceful, Susan Kennedy. Although I did adjust it. It's supposed to be just double crochet the whole way. And I've added lemon peel stitch. So I'm doing 6 rows of double crochet, 4 rows of lemon peel stitch. And I don't know, I don't know if this has grown at all since I showed it to you last week, but I am doing it with mandala, Lion Brand mandala yarn in the colorway Troll. And I just finished the first ball, and I started on the second ball, cake, whatever. Yeah, so that's where I am on it. And as I said, I don't remember if I worked. If I did, I worked on it like towards the beginning of the week. The other project I'm working on, which is also by Pretty Peaceful Susan Kennedy, and also being made with using a Lion Brand mandala, is my Canyon Moon Rising blanket. And this definitely has grown since the last time you've seen it. So this is where I'm at. And this is done with two colors, or 2 colorways of the mandala. So the main color, which is the circles, is called Hallows. And I am using a bonus bundle for that. So bonus bundle is the double size cake, but it gives you like bigger stripes of color. So you don't have to use a bonus bundle. You could obviously use just more of the smaller one, but I thought it made sense because then the colors, the sections of colors will be bigger. And then the contrast I'm doing is called Ghidorah, I think. I don't have the label here. Oh wait, maybe I do. Yeah. Ghidorah, yeah, I was right. So Ghidorah goes like teal, green, purpley, grays, and then the Talos is all the pink and purple. And what's interesting is that they have the same purple in them, but they're not hitting at the same spot. So you can see this purple is in the main color in the Talos, but it's the same purple that I've now hit in the contrast. So that's pretty cool. And this is a tapestry. I think it's called Tapestry crochet, where you're carrying the other color through. And yeah, I'm planning on doing, well, I have 3 of the bonus bundles, so we'll see, you know, if that makes it too big or if that's exactly right or what. And last night I was working on it, but then I had to stop. And, you know, when the cakes get too floppy, they start to tangle, so I rolled them into balls. Which takes a little bit of time. So that was the crochet that I worked on a little bit this week, in between cooking and just sitting on the couch being a little bit tired. But then yesterday I kind of holed up in my room so that I could work on this project that I got as a gift for Lorraine for the holidays. I got this on eBay. So it is a vintage kit because it's from 1979. The Columbia Minerva Cruel Idea kit, and it is this little owl like door pillow hanger. And I just thought it was really cute because it's 3-dimensional. Lorraine likes owls, and I saw it and I just like I really want to make that for her. Now it was a little bit over, I think it was a little overpriced on eBay, but it wasn't something that you're going to be able to find. So yeah, so the owl comes out and it comes with everything except like stuffing. It has this belt for the back and for the trim. Okay, so I did start this. I got pretty far actually. I'm down to just needing to do the owl and then the finishing. So I hung the yarn on it last week, and then I started it yesterday. And so I finished the main part. I did all the stitching on the branch, and then this is a 2-piece little thing. So you stitch the back, and then there's a separate piece that you do I think they call it crazy cross stitch, because it's not really cross stitch, it's just you're making just random X's everywhere to kind of make this texture, and then you sew it on to make the little nest pocket. And then I started on the owl, which is a turkey, done with turkey work, which is this looped sort of stitch. So obviously I just started it. So the back is all the single color, and then you trim it after you're done. And then the front, I think you do the main part of the front. It's this color and white mixed together, and then the top of the face is all white. And then you do the eyes and everything, and then you trim them, and you leave like the ears longer. So that's what I worked on yesterday. And it's actually nice because this kit came with a crewel embroidery stitch chart that has way more stitches than are even in this this project. So it's nice. I want to keep this because it's got a lot of embroidery stitches that are kind of cool that I've never done before. I have done the turkey work before a little bit on those bees that I made last year, or this year, I guess. Beginning of the year? No, it was last year. Last year I made the little bees in turkey stitch, and I was aware of turkey stitch because my mom did quill embroidery, so I know I had seen that before, but I didn't know how to do it, and I learned on those bees, and now it's not that hard. So that's where I am, and then when I get the little owl finished, he fits in there, and then I will put it together. So hopefully I will get that done sooner rather than later. I mean, it's not something I can work on in the evening. I kind of have to work on it on the weekend, and because I have to do it in here because it's a surprise. And so yeah, but I think it looks pretty cool. Hopefully. The colors don't look exactly like they did on the cover, but I used the colors that it said to use. It says this is supposed to look kind of mossy, so I think it does. Let me know what you guys think. So that was basically all I worked on this week because, as I said, it was Thanksgiving and I was doing a lot of cooking. So prepping, really. I mean, we didn't do anything that was that difficult, but I did prep stuff and, you know, made sugar-free cranberry sauce from scratch, which I like canned cranberry sauce, honestly, but because I knew, you know, there's so many carbs and stuff in a Thanksgiving meal, I decided, like, one way I can cut down on carbs, aside from just like not eating rolls and things like that, is the cranberry sauce. So I made a sugar-free cranberry sauce. It turned out really good. I made it using allulose, and it came out really nice. So yeah, I think it was a successful little dinner party, and we had a good time, and we've had food all weekend. I'm trying to decide if I should make stock or soup or something today. I'm thinking I might. I have the carcass. Misty is really good at like cleaning, you know, not cleaning, but you know, what do I call it, picking a carcass, getting all the meat off of it, and then she's like, do you want to make stock out of this? And I was like, well, I've never actually made like stock before, you know. She goes, well, just stick it in a pot with, you know, she's like, with all these onions that were under the turkey and stuff, and she goes, and just, you know, bring it to a boil and simmer for 2 hours, and then drain everything out, and then you have stock and you can make turkey soup. So I think I might do that. I think that sounds kind of fun. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that today. I don't know if I'm gonna work on this project because again, I'm probably planning on sitting on the couch and I can't do this out there, but yeah, that's kind of my plans for today. As far as, I didn't get any haul. Actually I did get I got a bonus bundle of the Hallows, but because I had 2 to start, and I was just thinking, like, you know, I think I'd be more comfortable if I had that 3rd one. So I did get that, but you know, nothing new and exciting as far as haul. And yeah, so my plans are just kind of keep going, keep doing what I've been doing, and yeah, and see where it takes me. I do have to finish my Hanukkah gifts that are gonna go to my family. The hats for the boys are done. I have a scarf and a head warmer or ear warmer, or whatever you want to call it, headband for Stacy, which I just need to finish the scarf. I have to put the pom-poms on the ends, and then I need to make an ear warmer for Reagan, which I haven't totally decided what I'm gonna use yet, but I think I might use one of the matching wool blend scarfy yarns that I've used on the hats. I might make an ear warmer with that. She has long hair and she wears it in a ponytail a lot, so I thought she might like an ear warmer better than a hat. So anyway, So those are in my immediate plans, and hopefully my ear will not be buzzing next week when I'm talking to you guys. And yeah, that's it. 20 minutes. It's been a quickie. So again, I hope you guys had a wonderful week. And until I see you again, have a good beginning of December. God, I can't believe we're at the end of the year already. You know, they always say that days and weeks go by slow, or days and hours go by slow, but months and years go by fast, and it's definitely true. I cannot believe that we're at the end of the year already. I still feel like I'm getting used to writing 2025, and I'm gonna have to get used to writing 2026. But yeah, until I see you guys again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.